Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, I would like to talk about taking extra time to connect with the divine. And I just feel called to talk about this, and it's something that I've been consciously trying to practice in my own life, and I feel like I should just share it. Now, these times are, I'll just say, very trying. If you look at what's happening, or you might be having some personal turmoil. There's obviously a lot of turmoil in the collective right now, and it's really easy to get wrapped up in it, and it's very easy to just kind of slip back into that 3D duality mentality, and it is very easy to forget our truth, to forget that we are divine beings, to forget that we are all one, to forget that there is no separation between us and the divine. It is very easy to forget that during these times. But because these times are so tumultuous, because these are such an accelerated time of growth, it is extremely important to be connected with the divine, to not forget that we are one, and to really remember our truths. And a way that I have been practicing, and it is helping me do this, is to be taking extra time to connect with the divine. And it doesn't have to be a very long time, it can be just a few moments, but whatever it is, the way you connect with the divine, do more of that and give yourself those few moments during the day. For me, I really like to, especially when I feel myself getting wrapped up, I like to stop. I like to take a few deep breaths, and I like to I tell myself, remember your oneness, remember the oneness, remember the truth of the oneness, that there is no separation. I also like to sometimes imagine like the divine light starting from my heart and expanding through my whole body and encompassing my whole aura, and then shooting out into the world. And I feel like if I'm driving or wherever I'm going, it's like I am spreading a blanket of light. So that I like to connect in that way. I also sometimes like to connect, and I do it mainly during meditation, but I will do it randomly throughout the day. If you can close your eyes, I imagine, like, I can only describe it, if you ever seen in a movie, like, I don't know, almost like a star, like in a movie, like a star exploding, and it's just like this like beam of light kind of coming out and coming forward. I imagine that, and I imagine it kind of coming, but it's divine light love. Imagine it's coming towards me, and it encompasses me, and it encompasses everything, and it really brings me back to the oneness on a very high level, and it helps me to zoom out because we're having individual human experiences, so it's easy to look at your life and to get wrapped up in your life. But once you start to zoom out into your community and to the world and to what other beings could be existing in other worlds and other dimensions, and the spirit world and everything. And if you think of that, all of that is encompassed in the divine, that divine light, that beam. If you were allow yourself to get wrapped up in that, and to remember that all of these little things don't matter. All of the things that are going on in your life, yes, they matter to a certain degree, but on the grand scale of things, they don't matter. What is your life compared to the energy that creates worlds and dimensions and the spirit worlds? It's very small, and it's not that it's nothing, but it is just a very small piece of what is the divine puzzle. And so when I imagine that beam of light and I just imagine that nothing else matters, that, you know, to really zoom out and to look at things on a grand scale of things, you know, to look at things kind of from above. And that really, really, really is helpful for me to, you know, understand, like, your work doesn't matter, your drive to work doesn't matter, the house doesn't matter, because not that none of it matters, but on a grand scale of things, it is just very small. And I'm not saying that to negate, you know, your life or anything like that. I'm saying it in a way that it is helpful to help connect. It is helpful to really put things into perspective that are going on in your life. You know, if when you take that zoomed out perspective and you couple that with your faith of everything being perfect, because the divine is perfect and everything is working out perfectly, you are then able to release a lot of the fear, a lot of the tension, a lot of the resistance that you might be harboring when you are wrapped up in your own reality. And the reason why I feel like doing this is so important right now, and those are just a couple of the ways that I do it. You know, I also imagine myself being completely filled, every single cell in my body being completely filled with the divine energy that is the love energy, that love and peaceful energy that is divine energy. I imagine just being completely encompassed with that love. That also helps me to connect. So those are the ways that I connect with the divine, and I encourage you to find your own ways. I also, if I'm outside, I also take a few deep breaths and imagine that each breath is me breathing fully in divine energy. You can find your own ways of what makes you feel most connected and how you feel like, you know, you're able to have those moments during your day that help you to connect with the divine. And I encourage you to do it more, because having that perspective of the divine and putting things into perspective is, I just feel really important right now, because, you know, the divisiveness is going harder than ever. I know that doesn't really make sense, but maybe the powers that are trying to divide us are trying harder than ever. And we really need to remember that there is no division. We cannot be separate from each other, and we cannot be separate from the divine. And bringing yourself into that divine energy, that divine love, is that way to constantly remind yourself of that. So this way you can carry that throughout your day, and your actions can reflect that. Your words can reflect that. And then your thoughts and your feelings and your beliefs can start to reflect that. Because that is kind of our evolution. That is what we are here to remember. We are here to remember that oneness. We are here to remember that divine energy, the divineness that lives inside of every one of us, and that is every single one of us, including the dark energies. So I just wanted to have that little reminder, to share that little reminder, and it is a reminder that I continue to bring throughout my day, and I want to continue to bring into my life and throughout my day more and more. And it only takes a couple seconds. It doesn't take a long time. It doesn't take a lot of effort. You don't need anything to do it. It's fucking free. Excuse my language, but it is something that we can do anytime, anywhere, and I think that we need to take advantage of that. Let's take advantage of what is given to us, and let's see what happens. So that is our message for today. My name is Anne, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.